Unfortunately, Americans are getting scammed out of over $10 billion a year, and the vast majority of these scams are targeting people in their 50s, 60s, and older. Why? Two reasons. One, we have more money to get scammed out of. And second, with all this new technology, it becomes harder and harder for everybody to keep up on the technology. In fact, one of the safeguards for cybersecurity, some called two-factor authentication, where we get text a message, is one of the leading causes of large scams. And I'm talking people getting scammed out over $100,000. I don't want to see that happen to you. So let's go for a walk and let's talk about this. So, our cell phones are wonderful things, but they also make it easier than ever for crooks to try to develop a line of communications with us. And it can be as simple as, we get emails now. We've all heard the term phishing, where somebody tries to get you to click on a link. And once you do that, then bad things happen. So that's called phishing, phishing. But there's also something called smishing now. In the smishing, instead of phishing, the SM stands for SMS, which is the technical term for our text. So be careful with any links. I think we're all seeing more and more of those. We're also seeing what appear to be text by somebody that maybe is trying to contact a friend, and our human nature, particularly in American culture, is to say, hey, I'm not Janet. I'm not the person that you're trying to text. I thought you would want to know, but don't do that, because that opens up a line of communications with you and possibly people that do not have your best interest in mind. So that's smishing. But I want to go back to this two-factor authentication that is causing challenges and frankly causing some people to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the banks are saying, you know what? You gave away this code to somebody else, and therefore you did not protect your account properly. And unfortunately, the banks are saying you're on the hook for that. So here's what happens. You get what looks like an alert from your bank. Maybe I'm just going to name, Bank ABC. Let's say you bank there, and they send you a text and say, hey, did you approve this $100 charge at Amazon, or whatever the case is? And you say, no, I didn't. And then all of a sudden you get a phone call, and it's the caller ID says ABC Bank. And they say, hey, thanks, we just sent you that warning. Thanks for verifying that purchase was not yours. We need to lock down your account. So first I need to verify, the bank, need to verify that you, the victim, are who you say you are. So they send you a text and say, give me the code so I can verify that you are this person that you say that I'm talking to. And unfortunately, when you give them the code, that's really a code from that bank. In my example, Bank ABC, it's really a code giving them permission to take money out of your account. And so that's what they end up doing, is taking money out. And the bank's going to say, hey, you gave them that two-factor authentication code, right? They have some information on you. They're trying to get into your bank account. Your real bank sends you a code saying, hey, somebody's trying to get into your account. Is that okay with you? Here's the two-factor authentication code. And if you give that to somebody, now you're on the hook, because that's like giving your password to somebody. And the bank's going to say, you should not have given that two-factor authentication code. So, and then oftentimes what happens is they call back and say, okay, we're going to send you a new credit card, or we're going to send something to you by FedEx. And then the next day they call you again and say, hey, we just heard back from FedEx or whatever the delivery service is, and they cannot deliver the package to your house. I need to first verify you are who you say you are again. Here's the code. You share it with the scammers, and guess what? They're taking more money out of your account. This is another withdrawal. So the internet is just filled with cases like that. So I want you to be aware of it, because it's an easy way to lose a lot of money very quickly. Think about how many years it took you to save $100,000. And these bad guys, these scammers, can get it in a matter of minutes. and there's not a lot of protection that you have. In fact, in one case on the internet, one of the big banks, I'm going to read you exactly what they said. And this is a quote. I'm not going to identify the bank, but this is a quote. You did not take appropriate steps to protect your account from theft or unauthorized use. Can you imagine if you got that letter in response to somebody taking $100,000 out of your account? I mean, that would devastate a lot of us. I don't want to see that happen to you. I also want to share some other scams that people are being subject to lately, and what I think we're going to see a big increase of in 2024. I already talked about smishing, where instead of sending you a bogus link to your email, they send it to you on your phone. Oftentimes these can look very legitimate, so be super careful. I do want, before I leave the previous scam, I should have mentioned, if you get a code, a two-factor authentication code, and somebody is asking you for that code, just hang up right away. And importantly, on the back of your ATM card, on the back of your credit card, will be a phone number to call your credit card company directly. Call them, see what's going on. I don't want to see it happen to you. Another way that people are getting hurt and losing real money is when they go to the ATM machine to withdraw money. Crooks, scammers, bad guys may have put glue in the little card slot where we put our card in for it to be read, because now our phones have, where you can tap to get access to your, you can tap to get access to your account. And what happens is, when you physically put in your card, when you take it out, oftentimes that's part of the process of shutting down your account so that the person behind you in line can't take money out. But when you tap, right, your card's not in the machine. And therefore you have to manually say, this is my last transaction, close it out. And because that's something new, right, these tap credit cards are something that many of us are getting for the first time in 2023. So scammers are putting glue in the card slot so people cannot use the card slot. Then they're using the tap. Now you still got to put in your code, but there's somebody watching. There's somebody watching your code where they can put in the code again for the next transaction. And it's all too easy to happen, particularly, on a busy weekend. Another thing, there's these apps now. Many of you have heard of Venmo. Many of you have heard of Zelle, where it's a way to send money to somebody. And so on places like Facebook Marketplace and other online services where you can pay for goods and services, people are getting scammed. They're paying for things that are supposed to get shipped to them and never do get shipped to them. So just be super careful. You work hard for your money. It's your money, and I want to see you keep your money. One way to protect yourself from that is to do all your transactions directly through the platform as opposed to sending a payment directly to somebody. This way you have some protections. So you work hard for your money. I also want to see you enjoy your money. So I encourage you to watch this video here, which talks about 8 things to stop doing as you approach your 60s to enjoy your life more. I'll see you in there.